January doesn't just freeze the body. Sometimes, it freezes memories. This happened in a January I never escaped from. Even today, when the clock hits 3 a.m. and the air suddenly goes silent, I feel it again. Like he has returned. The date was January 14th. The morning felt wrong from the start. The sun was out, but the air carried a damp, lifeless cold. The kind that seeps into your lungs and refuses to leave. I was living in a small hill town, about 120 kilometers away from Delhi. People called it peaceful. After that January, no one calls it anything at all. By 6 p.m., the sun slipped behind the mountains. And darkness swallowed the town far too quickly. That's when my phone rang. An unknown number. I answered. For a few seconds, there was only breathing on the other end. Slow. Heavy. Unnatural. Hello. I said. A weak, trembling voice finally spoke. Before January ends. Find me. The call disconnected. I immediately dialed back. The number didn't exist. I told myself it was a prank. But something cold tightened inside my chest. A feeling I couldn't explain. That night, the temperature dropped close to zero. The entire town felt frozen in place. I was in my room. The heater was on. Still, the cold crawled deep into my bones. At exactly 2:47 a.m. the electricity went out. The room drowned in darkness. And then I heard it. Footsteps. My room was on the first floor. No one lived downstairs. The footsteps moved slowly. Straight toward my door. I couldn't breathe. Then. Knock. 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 3 knocks. I was frozen on my bed. At the same moment, my phone vibrated. A message. From an unknown number. Only one sentence. Do not open the door. That is not me. My blood turned to ice. From outside the door, a voice spoke. A voice that sounded exactly like mine. Open the door. It's freezing out here. I shut my eyes. The knocking grew louder. Violent. Desperate. Then. Silence. Like nothing had ever been there. When I woke up at 7 a.m. the power was back. Outside my door. On the snow. Were wet footprints. They started at my door. And led straight toward the forest. And then. They disappeared. That day, I learned something. For the past 10 years. Every January. One man disappears from this town. And every time. Before disappearing. He receives a call. From an unknown number. And that January. My number was next. I didn't tell anyone about the call. Not the message. Not the footprints. In a town like that, fear spreads faster than truth. And once people sense you know something, they stop talking. By afternoon, the snow had melted. The footprints were gone. Like they never existed. But the feeling didn't leave. At 11:36 a.m., my phone rang again. Same unknown number. I didn't answer. The phone stopped ringing. And immediately vibrated. A message. You saw them too, didn't you? My fingers went numb. I replied. Saw what? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then another message came. The footprints. I dropped the phone. There was no way anyone else could have known. I grabbed my jacket and stepped outside. The town looked normal. Shops open. People walking. Children laughing. But every face felt wrong. Like masks stretched too tightly over something rotten. I went to the oldest shop in town, a small tea stall run by a man everyone called Pundit G. He had been there longer than anyone else. If anyone knew the truth, it was him. I sat down. He looked at my face once. And his hands started shaking. "You got the call," he said. I didn't ask how he knew. "How many?" I asked quietly. He poured tea without looking at me. "You're the 11th. My throat went dry. "11th what?" "11th January witness," he said. 10 before you. None of them are alive." The cup cracked in his hand. He finally looked up. "January doesn't take people," he whispered. "It replaces them." I laughed nervously. "That doesn't make sense." He leaned closer. "When a person disappears here, someone who looks exactly like them is seen days later." My heart skipped. Same face. Same voice. But wrong eyes, he continued. Empty. Cold. Like something is wearing a human body. I remembered the voice outside my door. My voice. "When did this start?" I asked. Pundit G closed his eyes. "January 2009. He told me the story. That winter, a group of researchers came to the forest nearby. They were studying abnormal temperature drops. One night, the cold fell to -17 degrees. Impossible for that region. The next morning, all 5 researchers were gone. No bodies. No blood. Just 5 sets of footprints. Leading into the forest. And stopping. A week later, one of them came back. Smiling. Talking. Alive. But his wife said something was wrong. He never slept. Never ate hot food. And mirrors. He avoided mirrors. 3 days later, she disappeared too. That was the 1st January. Every year since then. One man receives the call. One man sees the footprints. One man is copied. And the copies? I asked. Pundit G swallowed. They walk until February, he said. Then they vanish. I stood up. I need to leave this town. He grabbed my wrist. You can't. Why? Because it already knows you. That night, the cold returned. Sharper. Heavier. At 2:47 a.m., the power went out again. Exactly the same time. This time, I didn't wait. I opened the door. The corridor was empty. But the air was breathing. My phone buzzed. A video file. Sent from the unknown number. I opened it. The video showed me sleeping. Recorded from inside my room. The timestamp was live. Behind my sleeping body. Something was standing. Tall. Still. Its face slowly turned toward the camera. Toward me. And smiled. With my mouth. I screamed and dropped the phone. The video kept playing. The thing leaned closer to the camera. Its eyes were wrong. Too dark. Too deep. Like holes drilled into a face. Then the screen went black. The power returned. My room was empty. But my bed was warm. As if someone else had just gotten up from it. I ran. I didn't pack. Didn't lock the door. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs went numb. The bus station was empty. Except for one man. He stood near the last bus out of town. He turned. It was me. Same jacket. Same face. But when he smiled, his teeth were stained blue. Leaving so soon, he asked. My voice. I stepped back. "What are you?" I whispered. He tilted his head. "January," he said. "And I'm already late." The bus engine started. The driver looked at both of us. Confused. Then his eyes settled on him. "Get in," the driver said. I grabbed the door. No. The thing touched my shoulder. Its hand was freezing. "Only one of us can leave," it whispered. "And I've been here longer." The bus doors closed. As it drove away, I saw the driver's face. Frozen. Like a statue. The thing waved at me from the window. That was the last bus. The temperature dropped instantly. Snow started falling. Thick, heavy, silent. My phone buzzed one final time. "January ends in 17 days. You will be ready." I understood then. The town wasn't cursed. It was a nest. And January was the season it hunted.